Hi, Adam Bazalgette here, founder of SW Golf Academy. Today, what nobody tells you about chipping the ball onto the green. So important. And I say nobody, you don't typically hear these things. I'll give you two fundamentals, two things I think that you should have as goals, and two pitfalls. And I want to give a bit of credit to Joseph Mayo, well-known short game coach, to Victor Hovland and others. I've been around him quite a bit. We've become friends, and he's influenced me with some really good thoughts. I'm passing these along to you. Now, our first of two fundamentals, as I see it, is the low point. The bottom of the swing needs to be in front of the ball. And there's really two keys to doing this. Number one, play the ball back a little bit. It's not way back, it's a little behind my center. And let the hands be a little bit forward as you hit. This relatively ensures that. Now, you have to be a little bit careful that the club doesn't dig. Let's have a quick close-up look and I'll show you what will help prevent that a bit. So if you'll just open the club face up a little bit, it won't affect direction much on a shot of this length. You will start to feel how the leading edge of the club's off the ground. You'll use the bounce more and the club can literally skid or slide off the turf a bit. Really helps prevent digging. Talk about something later in this video that also causes people to dig. But a quick passing comment here. If you don't use a fairly high quality ball with a thin cover and a nice clean club, you will never get the type of spin and results you see players on TV getting. Okay, quick look in slow motion at contact, then we're moving on. So number two of our fundamentals, as I'm laying them out here again, and that is if that's directly towards the target, in other words, if there was a line on the ground, I don't want that club head coming very far back in from that. In fact, very, very little. So on TrackMan, according to Joseph Mayo, who's done a lot of it, right before impact, in this final foot and a half or so, most great players are almost on the target line, not quite. So I would err a little bit towards feeling almost like you're hitting a little bit of a cut shot, and you'll find it's much easier to drop the club on the ball, much easier to find your low point, easier to spin it as well. Now, the first of our two goals, number one, you're at the camera. Let's say I'm tossing a ball to you. If I'm tossing a tennis ball or a golf ball, I don't want to rifle it in on a line drive, not much touch there. But by the same token, if I lob it way up in the air, I don't have much distance control field. So picture someone's hand out, just kind of a mid toss. So we're looking for mid to lower height here on these little pitches around the green. Not much advantage to shooting it way up in the air unless it's super short-sighted or some such. The other thing is, okay, we want it coming in fairly low, but we need it coming in softly. And when you get this nice spin we're talking about, the ball gets a very deflected hit, comes off softer, has plenty of spin. The landing is soft. You'll see great players on TV. It checks a little bit and then just rolls out softly. That's what we're looking for. All right, my number one pitfall is on these small greenside shots. We're in a good lie now. Golfers cock their wrists and break them, especially this way, too much. Now, I know Mickelson's an advocate of the hinge and hold on some shots. Let's not kid ourselves. He's a golf genius. He's brilliant at it. More power to him. But I think for most people, and I would include me in that, hey, I feel the club head. It's not like there's no wrist action, but they're fairly passive. A little more of the Steve Stricker model, if you like. Let's give it a try here. And it's just a little bit easier to find the bottom out point and have some control over the club. Our second pitfall, and that is, let's say we've set up well, we're in a good spot to hit this thing, is dropping the right side, head moves back a bit. Typically it's the right leg and knee that shoot in this way too much. Once you change your axis, you're in grave danger of bottoming out early, or as we referred to earlier in the video, this is another cause of digging. I mentioned that I would mention another one. A lot of times we drop and we stick the club in the ground, and what will happen, it's not like you're going to dig in behind the ball every time. Your subconscious will sense that and sort of flick at it and try to get the hands working. So we need to keep that right side nice and tall as we hit. Let's try one here, like so. Let me show you a quick close-up of a pro, then we'll come out and close out with a couple of final thoughts. Annika Sorenstam here, without doubt one of the greatest lady players of all time. So you see just a moderate amount of wrist break, little bit of that shaft lane, little bottom out and beyond the ball, but watch her head relative to the building. The camera moves a little bit here. It's not backing up. If anything, it's getting a little higher and she's headed a little more towards the target. Great look through the ball. If you like this video, hope you'll subscribe to the channel. Thanks. So in short, these things take a bit of practice. If you're going to have confidence, you have to have a bit of a backlog of hitting good shots. We know what we're shooting for, a mid-height shot that comes off softly. You've got a sense of our setup, but it takes some practice. You've developed You know, in this technique, a fair amount of downward hit, you have to just have that feel for letting the club graze off the ground, keeping your height. If you think too much, I mean, if your conscious mind's too active, you'll get stuck a little bit on these. Practice them. They take practice, lots of practice swings. But if you go about it the right way, I think you make great progress.